On the flat roof of a house built into the great double walls of Jericho, two men lay shivering under piles of drying flax. Below them, the heavy rhythmic thud of soldiers' boots echoed through the narrow streets, and the sharp command of the king's guards demanded entry at the front door. The woman standing between the fugitives and their certain death was someone the city looked down upon, a prostitute named Rahab. She was about to commit an act of high treason against her king, risked on the strength of a rumor and the hope of a God she had never seen. Jericho was more than just a city. It was an ancient, formidable fortress, often called the City of Palm Trees. Situated in the Jordan Valley, it served as the strategic gateway to the land of Canaan. Its walls were legendary, high, thick, and designed to be impregnable. Around 1400 BC, the atmosphere inside these walls was thick with dread. As we find in the book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 9, the inhabitants had heard terrifying reports of a massive group of former slaves, the Israelites, who had survived the desert and were now led by a God who could part the sea. Rahab lived on the literal edge of this society, her house built into the city wall itself, placing her in a unique position to see who entered the gates and to hear the panicked whispers of the marketplace. The account begins in Joshua chapter 2, verse 1, when Joshua, the leader of Israel, secretly sent two spies to scout the land, especially Jericho. They sought lodging in the house of Rahab. It was a practical choice. A house of ill repute was a place where strangers could come and go without raising too many eyebrows. However, the king of Jericho's intelligence network was vigilant. He was told, "Some Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land." When the king's messengers arrived at Rahab's door, they commanded her to hand over the men. Here, Rahab made a choice that changed history. As recorded in verses 4 and 5, she hid the spies and misled the guards, claiming the men had left just before the city gates closed at dark. "If you hurry, you can catch them," she urged. While the guards galloped toward the Jordan River in a futile chase, Rahab climbed back up to the roof. What she said next is one of the most profound confessions of faith in the scriptures. According to Joshua chapter 2, verses 10 to 11, she told the spies, "We have heard how the Lord dried up the Red Sea. When we heard it, we lost our courage, for the Lord your God is God in heaven above and here on earth below." Recognizing that Jericho was doomed, she struck a bargain. She asked for a sure sign that she and her family would be spared when the invasion came. The spies agreed, but with three conditions found in verses 17 to 20. She must tie a scarlet cord in the window through which she let them down. Her entire family must remain inside her house. She must not betray their mission. After letting the spies down by a rope through her window, the very window on the wall, she watched them disappear into the hills. She immediately tied the bright red cord to the lattice, a silent signal of her new allegiance. The pivotal moment occurred 7 days after the Israelite army arrived. For 6 days, the city watched in eerie silence as the Israelites marched around the walls once a day. On the 7th day, the silence broke. As we read in Joshua chapter 6, verse 20, when the trumpets blasted and the people gave a mighty shout, the massive walls of Jericho collapsed. However, amidst the dust and the roar of falling stone, one small section of the wall remained standing, the part where a scarlet cord hung from a window. In the heat of the battle, Joshua gave a specific command, recorded in verse 22, "Go into the prostitute's house and bring her out, along with all her family, as you promised her." Rahab did not just survive the fall of her city, she was pulled from the ruins and brought into the camp of Israel, leaving her old life and her old gods behind forever. Rahab's story is a remarkable narrative of transformation. She began as an outcast in a pagan city and ended as an ancestress in the royal line of King David and eventually Jesus himself, as noted in the genealogy in Matthew chapter 1, verse 5. There are two enduring lessons we can take from her journey. Past labels do not define future purpose. Rahab was known by her profession, Rahab the prostitute, yet the scriptures eventually remember her as a woman of faith. Her story teaches us that no matter our background or the labels society places upon us, a single moment of courageous faith can rewrite our entire legacy. And the power of active faith. In the New Testament book of James, chapter 2, verse 25, Rahab is praised because her faith was not just a feeling, but an action. She didn't just believe God was powerful, she risked her life based on that belief. It reminds us that true faith often requires us to tie the scarlet cord, to take a visible, tangible step toward what we believe to be true, even when the walls are about to fall. Rahab's scarlet cord remains a powerful symbol of hope and protection, a reminder that even in the midst of judgment, there is a way to find safety for those who are brave enough to reach for it.
If you enjoyed this story, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. There are many more stories from Scripture over Tea still to explore. You can also turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. And if this story meant something to you, feel free to share it with someone else. Thank you for listening.